Hello, adventurer, and welcome to our Heroes of Theros actual playthrough. As always, it is a safe for work, story-driven D&D campaign. If you're a first-time viewer, we recommend starting your quest on episode 1. Otherwise, stick around and be transported to the mythic world of Theros. Last time, our heroes awoke and Callan recounted his vision of Theseus to the rest of the party. They discussed their plans for when and if they meet their former friend again. As our heroes continued to traverse the seemingly endless fields of Phyleus, they speculated as to which part of the underworld they would encounter next. Surprisingly, they ran into large mountains, and at the summit, they met, even more surprisingly, another deceased goddess, this time Nylea. She requested in her final moments that they walk with her down the mountain into Elysia. And as they did so, they tried to ask questions of her as they walked. They finally made it to the endless fields of paradise before the goddess turned into petals caught in the breeze. Nylea's essence, floating in the form of a flower, landed on Thalassa, who then absorbed it. Not long after that, they encountered a small group of children they had previously met in Akros, who instantly recognized them as the Heroes of Theros. They were eager to reunite them with none other than Adelphos the Great. And that is where we left off.
What an episode, by the way. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, a lot happened.
What a place to start.
I mean, it was a little condensed, like
So
putting
many
the recap,
emotions.
but oh man,
Yeah, I
so
did.
much stuff.
A lot of stuff did
It
happen.
is. It's good to be back.
Yeah, for
Welcome
sure.
back, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Heroes of Theros,
I'm gonna just
You
sit
are-
down in the grass.
Yeah, I would just kind of look in shock. Adelphos. We made it. As I kind of look at everyone, we made it here.
Yeah, we did it.
We actually made it.
Well, it's at least half the journey.
Do you ever,
I'd
back?
like to kind of like.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd like to kind of stand up like more in the grass and kind of walk towards them and say, "Well, I'm sure there's still more work to be done, but we need a rest for now."
Well, rest. What is rest?
You've not been resting, Adelphos.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's. I can see a little wear on you guys.
What?
And they look. How? Okay, this is a good question. How does everybody look? Let's do a little. Let's do a little inventory of how the group looks right now.
Well, how many? The big question is how many days have passed since we took the bath in the Narano?
Ooh,
No.
probably at least
You never
4,
know,
if
dude.
not
Okay.
more.
You never
And
know.
we've been
You never
going
know.
through. I imagine Callan looks like 3 months into a Western plains crossing back in the early 1800s.
Scruffy
Okay.
beard.
Just
Kind of look.
covered in dust.
Yeah, I feel like walking through the
Okay.
fields and stuff, I would have wiped off like my face the best I can, and kind of try to keep my hands as clean as I could. But that's probably about it. I probably
fast.
And then
probably
Oh,
look
sorry.
pretty sad at the moment because obviously the children are there, and that's sad. Because
Mhm.
obviously they're dead, and plus all the emotions from getting the essences of what's her face.
yeah,
So
of Nylia.
Nylia.
And I forgot, I cut you off, Callan. Callan, if you would like to have grabbed a petal as it flew away in the wind, absolutely you could have done that. I was just
Yes.
trying to transition into the essence transferring
You're
to
totally good.
Thalassa. Okay, so yes, you're able to grab a petal. This one is not absorbed.
Merciful.
And
And
Vasilis.
I'd say Vasilis.
And Alondros.
I look a little bit after taking that spill, a little dip in the river of Styx. Look a little paler than usual, and my eyes are a little bit more sunken in.
Just a
Haven't
little
been getting as much
more
sleep.
half dead, you know.
Yeah. Just looks a little tired, you know.
I imagine it's just like panning across all of us, and it's like, wow, they're really worn and weathered. And then it gets to Vasilis, and his eyes are just
He's just-
sunken in, and
Ugh.
he's just like,
And his lower legs are like a mangled mess of bone and metal
All
because
jittery.
his armor like fused.
oh
with-
yeah.
yeah.
But then it like pans to Alondros at the end, and like surprisingly, I look like really nice and well kept
That is not
because I've
surprising.
been like casting prestidigitation, and it's like
The fur on your
you know,
legs
like,
are nice
my
and fluffy.
perfume's running a little bit low, but like I still smell great. I like you know, it's like
That
yeah,
does not
worse for
surprise
wear
This is
for
like,
me.
sure.
I used soap in that last bath. We really could use some. No, and
But
you
no,
see. Oh, Adelphos, what do you look like?
I imagine that I'm in some type of robe. Not obviously not armor because there's no point in that.
Yep.
Just a simple robe. My hair is tidied. But well, it was attempted tidied. I imagine it's a little bit frayed and sticking out because I was playing with the kids.
Yep.
But and one after I like mentioned like the looks to them, I just like to go up and like greet everybody.
Okay.
And so, of course, I want to greet Callan, Thalassa, Alondros, and then when I get to Cassius, or not Cassius,
Vasilis.
Vasilis, sorry.
That's
I
his
just
cool name though.
yeah, I want to like shake it, like do one of like the warrior. You know what I'm talking about?
the
Yeah.
forearm.
Be like,
Yeah,
mhm,
grasp
I
each
have
other,
like
feel up each other's
So
forearms.
when you greet Callan and Thalassa and Alondros, do you give them a hug? Do you just like?
oh yes,
Okay. All right.
I'll just go up and just kind of like give them all like a big circle hug.
Yeah.
And I'll just be. It's great to see you guys.
It's good to see you too.
I don't know how long it's been, but thank you. And then
we've been
when I
just
get
beat
to when I get to Vasilis, I want to I would like to say have we met before? You seem familiar. I can't recall.
Did we actually ever meet?
I think we
specific-
did once.
like in person, like or
It's hard. I think I haven't
You
listened
met-
to the
I think it was
Acro Soccer in a
brief.
long time.
I think it was brief.
You
Maybe
met
like
before
I
the
think you
ball.
two did meet each other before the ball outside of the rhododendron household, and it
Mhm.
was like it was very much like in passing.
oh, then it wasn't really like okay, maybe it was a meeting. What happened was Vasilis was like leaving. He was like had like
Yeah.
an argument with his
Yes.
father.
Yes.
And I don't remember if he said
Mhm.
much after. Like it was just kind of like a, oh, you guys are going to the Iroan Ball. Like it was very much so a group discussions.
Yeah. Yep. He
Yeah.
literally like bumped into the party and then continued on,
Mhm.
which is
So-
where Adelphos would have bet. And I guess, did Vasilis go to the ball?
Yeah, he definitely would have been there.
I think
I
he
mean,
did,
he
but
would-
I
a lot of
didn't
people.
talk to
Yeah.
him.
I know you guys didn't talk to each other, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
Vasilis, like you like would have seen like Vasilis. You definitely know Adelphos better than Adelphos knows you. Like
Oh,
you watched him
one-
fight. You were at the ball.
Yeah.
He was a hero of Theros before he died.
Oh yeah.
So
I think he would have definitely. He's actually. Never mind. We'll get it through the role play.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I feel like we've met before, but I can't recall. What is your name?
I'm Vasilis. We met briefly.
Vasilis.
Yeah, Adelphos. I'm honored to meet you. I've watched you in the games, set on several, or not the games, in the gladiatorial arena several times.
Mm-hmm. A different time.
Still is practiced. I'm assuming.
No. Honor's all mine to meet you. Because I mean, would I like kind of know who he is, because I feel like when I had bumped into him before, like so long ago, we had briefly talked about like the upcoming games, and he had like, oh, I won those, or like I fought in those.
yeah.
I'm sure that Theseus had also
He
brought
knew
him
your
up.
dad too.
Yeah.
Theseus never brought him up. Theseus
I thought he
didn't do anything.
He brought him up
It is
once. One time. No, like maybe
Theseus
twice.
doesn't tell us anything.
Theseus just
So
sliced
I
his
would
ear off.
say, Matt, it's up to you.
Remember that.
It depends on how closely Adelphos would have followed the Iroan games as a gladiator, right?
Mhm.
Because the way the timetable works out, like you would have seen Vasilis beat or known about his victory against Theseus before you were shipped off to Olantis.
Mhm.
So it's really up to you how well you know of him. I'll let you play that out.
Mhm. I'll just say, Vasilis, you won the games, no?
Yes. I did.
Yes. It's an honor meeting you. I've heard about you before. It's just
All
my
good
memory
things, I
is.
hope.
Yeah, all good things, of course. Just memory's a little different down here, I feel like. And then I would like to just kind of stand up and kind of like walk and kind of like get everybody's like attention. Just be like, so what has happened since I've been gone?
What hasn't happened?
For our travels, quite a bit. What's happening back on our plane of existence, we don't really know.
You sort of know.
I kind of know.
We have
The gods,
some visions.
the gods and
Probably not great stuff.
goddesses are being killed off one by Theseus.
He's ransacked much of the country, including Akros, as far as we know.
Yes. In the forest.
The forest of Nylea is gone.
Colossus is gone.
Colossus is gone. Perforus is gone.
Nylea is gone.
Nylea.
So, you know,
Much has happened.
some stuff.
Which we're not quite sure, but a few of them, when they've passed, have left their mark on us, and we don't know exactly what those do. But somehow they're going to help us.
As you say that, Thalassa, Adelphos and Callan and everyone else sort of looking at Thalassa, you notice something other than the color on her body changing slightly. You see that, if you're okay with this, Thalassa.
Sure.
What? What was that
Nothing.
whispering?
Nothing.
You see that in one of her eyes, in like the pupil and the iris, is the symbol of Nylea, which is 4 crossed arrows.
That's so cool.
Like replacing her pupil?
Yeah.
Or like inside of the pupil, like golden arrows
Ooh.
in the black.
That would be sick.
Dealer's choice or player's choice.
Dealer's choice. I get to
I like the
choose.
gold one. I think it's cool.
Okay, so within
Pretty
her
sick.
pupil, because Triton's eyes are famously very dark to be adjusted, you know, to the depths, the underwater. Yeah, you see a golden 4 crossed arrows.
That's
What?
actually super cool.
Why are you all staring at me? I know
When
my
you said they
colors
left your
changed.
mark on you, but you said they left your mark on you, and I didn't think it'd be that literal. And I kind of lean in and like take a closer look.
What are you doing?
He's looking to try. It's.
What is wrong with my eye?
And I don't think anything's wrong with it. I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful eye. You have a beautiful eye. Okay.
Okay.
It's the one.
It's just.
Yeah.
Is now the time to be staring at each other's eyes? Yes, your eyes are beautiful
Yes.
too.
No. It's very.
You
the
have
symbol of
the-
Nylea.
You have this symbol of Nylea embedded in your eye.
In my eye.
Can you like zoom in?
Can
Here,
you
hold
zoom
on,
in on your
hold on.
eyes?
I'm gonna run 50 feet away. Okay. Go ahead.
You look like you're 50 feet away.
So as
So
Callan
it doesn't
is
have magical
running,
powers.
I pull out
Uh-huh.
a small little steel mirror that I have, like this
Okay.
metal mirror, and kind of hold it up. As Callan's running away to do whatever he's gonna do, I kind of hold up this little mirror.
What in the world? Why is mine in
All right,
my
Callan.
eyeball?
I run another 50 feet.
Your turn.
How about now?
You're just getting
it
further.
Is it working?
I don't know what
Callan,
it does.
it doesn't work.
Callan, as you run, the kids think that you're playing a game, and so they kind of like run after you. So you get to like the 50 feet, yell your thing, and then like they barely get there. Then you run another 50 feet, and so then they like chase you further.
And as
And then by the time you yell, "What about now?" They're about 10, 20 feet away. You just hear them, "Get him! Get him! Get
I
him!"
start screaming and just running. And I imagine
yeah.
that
Call
like
out-
they're looking in the mirror. I just imagine like Alondra's holding the mirror and Thalassa looking at it, and then me just running past in the background, screaming at a herd of kids.
Yep. Precisely. That's what's happening.
Adelphos, are you always followed by mobs of children here? Is that...
I yell out, Callan, run! They're known to bite.
Adelphos,
Yes.
do you have some sort of home or place that you stay that we could possibly go and talk some more?
Jefferson?
Yeah. Yeah. You do.
Yes, I do. Perhaps let's wait for Callan to get back to us first, but
I'm sure he'll
If
He'll
he
find
makes
his
it back,
way.
those children look ferocious.
oh, believe me, they can be in a playful sort of way, of course. I mean, I feel like we are a little childish at heart.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, Callan.
Oh man,
We are not prepared.
Hold on one moment.
23.
Okay.
You evade children.
All right.
Roll to evade
You-
children.
You don't evade children. There are
Oh.
many of them, and they play a lot.
You had to get a 50.
So no, they just got a really good score. They get to roll with advantage because stylistically it's funnier this way.
Yes.
So you are chased, and long story short, you think you have easily evaded a group of children, but really you just fell into their trap. They were distracting you. And basically they tabletop you, like a couple kids like bend over like behind you, and like some other kids like jump from the sides and sort of like tackle you and get you onto the ground. And they're just finally they're like, "We got him! Yeah, we got him!" And then right after they attack you, they just like get up and start like running around and like doing victory, like cartwheels and chest bumps and like high fives, and then they go run off and
As
continue playing.
as they're all running away, I'll say, "I'll show you." And I reach into my bag and I pull out the flamer and I light one of the M80s and I throw it at the kids.
These are the fireworks on children.
It's the first time I've used one.
Great.
I'll show you. Eat a grenade.
I hope this sends you to Agnes, you little twerp.
You
I saw your dad. He was in misery.
Oh, stop it.
You throw this M80 amidst this group of children. Loud bang. And the group, as you're all like, "Oh, Adelphos, do you have a place to stay?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go grab Callan." Like from a distant way away, you just hear this and like a small puff of smoke, and then the children just scatter. They just scream in terror.
I'll start walking back triumphantly.
That was most likely him. He probably scared children away.
It's okay. He's great with kids, is he not?
Talon. They're kids.
The explosion's really giving it.
Yes, they are.
You're
and
not trying-
there was a lot of them, and I got the upper hand. Clearly, I won that bout.
I kind of like lean in quieter, and I'm like, "You're not trying to kill them for a second time."
Oof.
I was like, "They're just kids. They're just playing."
It's just fun, right?
Fair
I
enough.
wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
But yes, let's
Can they even
let's
be
go
hurt
back.
here?
I don't
So-
know. Should I ask one?
This-
And I'll pull out my rapier.
Wait,
No,
Okay. And I'll put my rapier away.
we don't choose violence.
All right, let's follow the group.
I wonder what
So-
would happen if you were to use one of those
Hey, kid,
charges
come
on
here.
a being down here.
Let me try something on you real quick.
That is quite the interesting thought, though.
It is.
I know. That hasn't come up yet.
Nope.
So you follow Adelphos, and Adelphos, you lead them to a paved path. It's very windy, and it's paved with beautiful, worn stones. And there around you are just rolling hills of beautiful green mixed with flowers. You see honeysuckle vines growing on rock outcroppings, large shade-giving trees in the perfect places to lie underneath, to read, to contemplate. You see off in the distance what looks to be like a Olympic competitors' field, a track with sort of an interior that allows for different sports and games. And you notice there's not really a city or city-state, but you see on the tops of various hills throughout, as far as the eye can see, connected by this paved path, villas, large, spacious villas with sort of multiple buildings pouring over these low hills. And as the sun goes down, you see these villas warm or light up with this warm glow. from their hearths, and the beautiful, beautiful night sky appears above you. And now, instead of chains uplifting the ceiling, you see now large marbled column supports, just as you would in the picture on Foundry. And Adelphos, basically, down here, you people sort of reside in loose, like, family spaces in these villas. Basically, if you want to, you can live with your, like, family and close friends in the same proximity. And so, I would assume, Adelphos, that you would be living in a villa with your mother.
Yes, I would.
Anyone else that would be in this villa with you and she?
What? I'm trying to remember his name. Mine and Theseus's close friend,
Jared.
and that was in the army with us.
No, Jerry died.
Faustus?
Faustus. I feel like he lived nearby.
Faustus is.
If Faustus was dead.
Oh, I thought you said he was.
Not yet, Matt.
Gosh, sorry.
Just kidding.
Well, I don't know.
That's
I
okay.
was like,
Either.
I thought he was, but
Bro, if we run into Faustus down here, I'm done.
I can't. I don't know anybody off the top of my head.
That's fine. And as the sun now disappears into late evening, you appear at the steps of a large villa.
Is this it?
Welcome where I'm staying.
It's beautiful.
Welcome to my home.
It looks a little bit less
There's someone who-
inconspicuous.
You know, it took a minute to get used to. Someone who spent his first many years of his life living in a cage under the Colosseum, and then all of a sudden I get this villa. I almost feel like I don't deserve it at some point.
Yeah, all you had to do was die for it.
Who knew such things were worth dying for? Come on, let's go inside.
Lead the way.
Adelphos, what sort of buildings would be here?
What do you mean?
I'm assuming there'd be like a main space where you would eat and lounge. Is there like a garden? Do you keep a garden here? Would there be like a bathhouse? Like,
I
what would be
imagine-
Adelphos's dream villa, excluding like a military training
Yeah.
area? You could have like a sports training area, but like
Mhm.
other than simple like javelins or discuses, like there's no weapons here, really.
Yeah. I imagine that there's like a gate, and then you walk through the gate, and there's almost like these pillars holding up, and then there's like a stone roof, and then it's like steps down, and there's like a lounging and or eating area,
Mhm.
and then you can go to the left, and that's going to be more like you know, where you can sleep, where you can stay, like where food is going to be prepared, and more on the right would be more like more lounging areas, but also like bathing areas and a garden maybe in the back and stuff like that.
Okay. Great. And as you all enter in to this beautiful villa, you hear a voice come from the lounge area. And she says, Adelphos, oh, good. We were wondering when you were going to be back. Faustus was just stopping by to see if you would be at the games tomorrow.
Well, we have company.
Oh yes, I see you do. New additions to Alicia? And would you like to describe your mother?
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
What is my mother's name? I totally forgot.
I
Mom.
forgot too. You think I?
What? That is her name.
Jefferson, I'll just introduce, like, this is my mother, and then you can come up with a name. And, like, she'll, like, oh, I'm blah blah.
It was Cynthia.
Was it? Oh, yeah, it
Yep,
was.
that's what it was.
Okay, yeah. No, so. No, mother. These are some of my friends from the world above. They've traveled down here.
Hi.
I don't even know why you guys have traveled down here. But
How could
this
you
is my
not
mother,
know?
Cynthia.
Mortals?
Yeah.
You're mortals.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
In the flesh.
Well,
Oh,
some
and
of
you
us.
see like, a look of like worry comes across her face, and she like shuts the gate hurriedly behind you and sort of like ushers you in quickly.
Oh. Is that not...
We will not be staying for long. There's no need to hide us from those dreadful creatures.
And then she acknowledges you say that, but as she's sort of ushering you in, she goes, "Faustus, can you believe that, mortals?" And you all see, standing up from one of the couches, his back to you and turning over your shoulder, your friend Faustus.
Not my boy, Faustus.
Although he looks very different, as he is not wearing the eye patch that normally adorns his face. But instead, you see you.
Perfect eyes.
Perfect eyes.
As soon as Vasil,
The other one is fine, all right?
Wow.
He is attractive.
Wow,
though.
Faustus,
Faustus is
your
attractive.
eyes are.
His one normal
He's
eye,
white
and
and
where the
dewy.
eye patch is
I know.
just
It's painted
slightly
on.
off center.
No. And he goes, "Praise the gods. It's the Heroes of Theroes," and he runs to you. And he does the same as what Adelphos. He just gives you a hug. Adelphos, Thalassa, and Callan.
Good to see you.
And then he turns and he goes, "Yeah, and you as well. Vasilis?"
Faustus. I wish it was under different circumstances, but it is so good to see you.
For you, we must have just seen each other, right? And Akros, you went down into where was it? Ah, yes, the crypts.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's still been a while. It's taken us a while to get here. What happened, Faustus?
Memory does not serve one here as it does in the mortal realm. The longer you're here, the harder it is to remember your life before. And I suppose for some people, that's good. But, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Do I remember Theseus killing me?
What a whopper of a question.
I feel like I would remember falling to my death, but not the actual.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. You play it however that is up to your discretion.
And I'd kind of follow up with Faustus and be like, yes, it. I don't remember much of leading up to that night, but I do remember falling very, very far. And then waking up here.
Faustus,
What?
Yes.
you said that it would be a short time for us. How long have you been here?
It seems like an eternity, truthfully.
Do you, by chance, remember how much time passed between us going down and you following after?
I don't.
Right.
I remember that the city fell. The city fell to an army. But the palace believe the palace remained.
Hmm.
With that day when I fell, you mentioned earlier that the gods were being killed and that Theseus had something to do with it. What became of him after the day I died?
He completed his trials of Mogus.
He is the champion.
His trials. What trials?
The armor.
I remember the armor. I remember how much power it gave him. But he's still my brother.
Do you not remember that he had to sacrifice something that he loved dearly to become the champion?
No, I don't recall.
He had to sacrifice something he loved deeply and something of his own. And in the end, do you remember the bridge? Where we all fought. The final battle you ever fought.
It was after I faced him in the games, no?
Yes.
I think I do recall.
You slipped off the edge.
Ever so...
And he grabbed your hand. And when we thought that he was going to pull you too, he did the unthinkable. He cut his own arm off and let you die.
My demeanor on my face would just kind of sink. Just let me think for a second. No, that's impossible. It's impossible. He wouldn't do that. He's the only. He was the only blood family I had. He wouldn't. I knew that the armor was corrupting him, but after the games, we talked it over. We apologized. He pulled me up on top of the bridge, and then I fell off. That's what had to have happened.
No.
It's not, Adelphos. As painful as it is.
You're here because of him.
And we're here because of that.
I don't doubt that he has gone irreversible at this point. If he kills his own family. What is there to do at this point to help him? Is there anything?
We thought maybe you might
We don't know
be
yet.
helpful to see if perhaps he is still swayable. You're the only one that's ever been able to truly get through. Go ahead.
I think in the end... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think that in the end, I can pull him back. And if not, then I shall die trying again. This is between him and me. I can't leave him.
We're not going to.
That's why we are here.
And we
We're gonna
won't
do all
let
that
it,
we can.
we won't let it come to the latter. We came down here for you, and one way or another, Theseus will pay for what he's done.
he won't have to. I don't know if he will have to pay, but he will be redeemed. There's no doubting what he would have to pay for what he's done, by the sound of it. I don't know if that debt can ever be repaid for killing goddesses and gods and countless people, and I'm sure many of the children of Akros down here are from his doing. I'm sure that even if I couldn't remember what killed me, Faustus can't. Sure, our two stories are not a bit different. But I bet deep down inside of him, he still has a small sliver of humanity left. And we just need to find it. I just need to find it, and we can nurture it back.
That's the hope.
But we shall see.
So where do we go from here?
To get some food.
Do people eat down here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't.
I feel like, is it necessary? Like eating necessary? Okay, that's what I thought.
Like, you're never necessarily hungry. Like, your body doesn't waste away.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, people, this is paradise. And, you know, part of that, I think, is socializing over good food.
It's an enjoyable comfortability.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy, dinner.
Yeah.
Lembas bread. And more Lembas bread.
This bread. No, you. Your mother says, yes, of course. Please, you are our guests tonight, and as long as you wish to stay. So please make yourself at home. Rest your weary bodies, and we'll tend to you. This is paradise after all. Come, Faustus. Let's prepare them a meal. And she goes off into a sort of a separate part where the kitchen is. And she sort of stops where she goes, and she stops. Sorry, she stops before she goes. She turns to you and she says, and of course you are free to use anything here you wish. Consider it your own home. In fact, truthfully, I believe it is. You are, or had become, more of a family to my son than I could have been in life.
They were there with me until my final day. I appreciate that.
And you see she looks she looks very happy. She looks pleased that you are here. And then she looks at you, Alondros, and she says, and yes, that does include the bathhouse. Dinner will be ready shortly, and she goes off with Faustus.
Perhaps
Well,
they have new soaps here too.
Yes,
Do you still carry your bar of soap, Alondros?
I did.
Ooh, touchy subject.
Yes.
Man, what could be worse than losing your bar of soap? Am I right, Callan?
Losing your bar of soap
Not
in the
much.
Underworld.
It is
Worse.
said that a bar of soap is only as good as the man who wields it,
That's right.
and vice versa. The man is only as good as his soap. But before we get to much of that, I do think we have a lot to discuss.
Yes. Let us sit in the common area and discuss while it is being prepared. Food is being prepared. There's a lot I need to know. A lot you need to know at this point.
Callan is like has one of his boots like halfway untied. Oh, we're not doing that right now. We're gonna talk first. All right, let's talk. I'll tighten my boots back up.
You can talk. You can
No,
talk
it's
in the
fine.
bathhouse.
We could do this
You've
now.
done it. You've done it before.
That's true.
I mean, actually, traditionally, you've kind of used bathhouses as your pseudo war rooms.
It's not a talk house. It's a bathhouse. Have
Yes,
some
but
class.
The Greeks used it for social stuff. So,
that may be true. Maybe we can head there after, but as I kind of reach into my bag, I would pull out a sealed scroll. I wouldn't want this getting wet. Adelphos. This is for you. It's from
So
your father.
I grab it, I untie it, and I open it. I can't read. I hand it back to you so you can read
Hold
it.
on. You can kind of read, remember? But yes, you can't
Well-
read very well. Can you guys? I have like a few sentences to finish on the letter. Can you guys give me just a couple minutes of roleplay time to finish that?
We should
Thanks.
We're gonna
discuss.
sit here. We're gonna sit here in complete silence,
Yes.
and
That's
it's just
fine.
gonna
While
be
you
dead
read the
air.
letter.
We should discuss how we're going to leave. Does anybody
good
have
point.
any ideas?
Also,
Would
probably wouldn't
I
know
know
this.
anything about...
Hold on.
he's writing the
What?
letter.
Yeah.
Oh, you're...
Would you happen to know if memory only escapes the dead here?
That's high. I mean, at least to some extent, the longer you are, the harder it is to remember formally, unless it was a core and pleasant memory. I feel like that's what I remember the most, or remember the clearest. Of course, I can still remember some events of my last days, and it's hard to say when we say how then we all first met together, but what fond memories I have of you have been crystal clear in my head. But
I only
I
question.
don't, the longer you...
I only question if the longer we stay, the harder it will be to remember things on the out.
I'm just guessing, or at least putting my, not input, intuition, is that the right? Insight?
Mm-hmm.
But it,
Oh no! Did we lose him?
lose who?
No?
He was just pulling a U. He was just frozen.
Okay, you're gonna have to say all that again, Matt. We lost you.
I think we still
after
have him.
insight.
I still
yeah.
had him.
I didn't say
No,
anything
I
after, I didn't say anything after insight.
Yeah.
So,
Keep going.
Wait.
You're good.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
so-
We're good.
but
Oh, never mind.
yeah, but
sorry.
The apprentice becomes the master.
Oh,
I
man.
have the turns tabled.
But no, I assume, or I would guess it would be different for you guys since you are not deceased.
Am
It's,
I the one that's lagging? Yeah, I'm the
Yes.
one that's lagging.
you have been cutting out a lot, at least for me. So, but no, it's hard to say. I'm sure it differs for everybody. And again, since you guys are mortal still, I do not know whether your memory changes at all down here. I only know what is of the dead.
Alan, I believe you would be the one to best check that, as your memory is superior to most of ours.
It is in normal circumstances, but since we have been down here, I have been like a fish out of water.
But you could still remember.
I mean, I still remember. Yeah, no. Yeah, at least I think I remember everything.
I mean,
How do you
Do you
how do
remember the
you-
organization
how do you know
that you were a
if you've
part of?
forgotten something that you used to know?
just think of something dreary from your life and see how clearly you can remember it.
think about that time when you were trying to capture me.
Yeah.
Or when you said you were somebody else.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, what
I
what
think-
was my fake name again? Lonnie Lyndon Lydia? Lydia, is it Lydia?
Everyone
You
looks at
mentioned that,
Adelphos
I
to
was
see
like,
Is that what? I'm just looking at Adelphos as I say.
Yeah, we're all
Only-
looking. I'll
Lid-
look at Adelphos.
Lydia.
Adelphos, roll me history check.
with, like,
Does that ring any
I'm
bells?
sure it would.
on.
Because can I get an advantage? Because I mean, she would be a fond memory.
That's a
feel
crystal
like-
clear one, if you ask
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
me. Oh, cute.
You can roll his advantage.
Nat 20.
Let's go!
No!
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's true love.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the only crystal clear no, this is true. Adelphos. The only crystal clear true memory that you have held on to here in the Underworld. The only vivid memory that you remember from your living experience was your time spent with Lydia on the Isle of Skies.
So you guys like kind of look at me and I just say, the Isle of Skies. I remember. Quite a yearning memory, yearn for that, but sometimes I wish I could go back, other times not. Guess it doesn't matter when you're dead.
That's why we're here.
We're getting you undead. Or at least out of this place.
So we have a conundrum that we need to figure ourselves out of.
And what's that?
And that is?
We currently owe a god favor.
Which god?
A not so great one.
Which one? Is it just
What's
one?
his name?
Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Which one's Phoenix?
He's the god of deceit and trickery. The father of lies.
Alan used to
The one that
worship-
Callan.
worship
Yeah.
follow.
He's not.
Oh
he's
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
bad.
I remember.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
I hear very shifty things about his followers as well.
Yes, they cannot be trusted. That's for sure.
So, what's the god of the underworld's name again?
Erebus.
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 We've met him.
So,
We have met
Great
him.
guy.
you've met Erebus.
Yes.
Well, I feel like at least Erebus can be somewhat more reasoned with than Phaenax,
That's
but
kind of what we were hoping.
Unsettled at the moment.
You
Yeah,
wouldn't
would
happen.
I? Oh, sorry.
You wouldn't happen to know where his palace is by chance. We would be very grateful.
No, I do not, unfortunately.
Figured as much.
But
But
I'm sure that would he like go around from like place to place, kind of checking on all the undead? Do you think? No. How did you guys meet him then?
We're just
He-
ballers.
Well, ask
like
him.
that.
Ask them as
yeah.
ask him as Adelphos.
We're just big ballers.
I don't. But I don't know where he reigns or where he stays, or I don't even know if he goes and tricks on every other person in the underworld. But how did you guys meet Erebus?
we came across the fallen body of Perforus. He came to claim him when he left. And we were there.
Did he say anything?
He said a little bit. I can't remember anything specific, but he basically
Mostly
told us,
snide remarks.
yes. And then he left us with some friends of his.
They weren't very friendly.
No.
I was worried that violence would creep its way back into the underworld, or back into this world at least. It's supposed to be peaceful, a warrior's dream, a family's dream, a kid's dream. But
You haven't seen the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, you really lucked out. The rest of the underworld is drab. Really.
I just pray that it.
Adelphos, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If you plan on leaving with us, is it? I mean, it's beautiful here. Why? Why leave? I mean, like Callan just said, you truly lucked out. Obviously, it came with a price, but
I think it is a longing for being there for other people that keeps me going. I mean, I had a chance. The only clear memory I have, the very end of it, is leaving the only girl I've ever loved. But yet I don't necessarily feel guilt for that because I've also been there for other people. So I guess that's in the same sense as why did I leave the Isle of Skies, to go on more of a journey to restore the greater good in humanity and other people. And at this point, I would leave because I know that there's still just a shred, even if it's a small fragment, there has to be a tiny piece of good still left in Theseus, and I still need to find it.
you're worth staking your claim here in Elysia against that.
And again, if I go back, I'll just die again in the near future. I'll meet my family back here.
Will you? Is what I'm
Not a
asking.
guarantee.
Are you willing to stake the claim that you have here in paradise?
Adelphos kind of ponders for a second, and he starts to 1,000-yard stare in a good way to put, and he gets tears starting to form in his eyes. He's kind of staring out of the window, and he turns to you and says, I don't know. I've had everything I can ask for here. I have my mother, haven't seen in years. And up until you guys got here, I had Faustus, one of my closest friends outside of the group. There was no violence. There was no need for hunger, something that I felt so often. And there's so many children. They were so happy. They didn't know what had happened to them. They didn't know that they didn't understand the greater concept. But at the same time, seeing so many souls being so carefree in the world, not having a thing to worry for, gives me hope. And even if I do have to risk all my claim here and risk the opportunity and risk never coming back, at least I'll know that those who deserve love and care and protection in a carefree world will have it. And that is what gives me hope.
I think that's an excellent answer. I respect you, Adelphos, for that.
Thank you. It's a hard thing leaving paradise. I haven't touched a blade in ages. So, but you guys said that you had met my father.
We did.
Where?
You never know.
You never know. Of course, you couldn't help
Sorry,
ourselves.
I meant
Yeah,
Is that a serious moment?
Never know.
Never know.
Here and there, you never know.
What was he doing? What?
Do you want the truth?
I've been learning a lot more truth today, so just lay it on me.
He was suffering in his regrets of his life, in wandering aimlessly around a never-ending sea with dotted islands. Well, I guess technically it has an end, but to him it was an aimless wandering of regret.
As much resentment I can have for that man, I almost feel bad for him. He had his chance. Of course he missed the girl he loved most, but then he has another child, and he can love him and then disregards him for a child that he never knew.
Hyson, I'm trying to send this into chat. What's your email? Can you email it to you really quick?
Yeah.
Text it to me. Text me your email. Don't put it on this.
My personal email is
Text it to me.
gmail123@gmail.com. They'll never know it's 1, 2, 3, 4. See?
I don't know why it's not posting to chat. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4 $.
them dollar bills. But bills is spelled with 3 Z's.
Yeah.
At yahoo.com.
The password to all of our accounts is actually get money $.
So
Sending it over now.
Oh, Proteus did have a lot of regrets in life, but it seemed that we were able to assist him somewhat in getting closure.
What did he say of me and my brother?
He definitely holds a lot of regret about how he raised your brother.
And the lack thereof in your life.
Indeed. You know, I knew your father very well, Adelphos. I grew up with your brother very closely, and obviously with your father, Proteus. I will say he was very different. It was a very stark contrast. I think it's been eternally hard for him to change, but he's different in a good way.
Perhaps one day I will be able to see him. But yes,
I promised your father that no other eyes would see this letter aside from you, but if you wish it, I can read
I
it
would.
for you.
I would appreciate that greatly.
And I would break the seal and unroll it. Adelphos. I earn no credit as a father for writing you now. Truthfully, I don't believe I have earned the right to call myself your father, even a father to Theseus for that matter. Regardless, I wish to tell you now what I can't bring myself to tell you when you were alive. I used to believe the only power a man could hold was that of influence of others. Whether this influence came by tact or force, the more influential a man was, the more powerful he was. This belief is how I allowed myself to let you and your mother go to begin with. It was the same belief through which I allowed myself to mistreat your brother in your absence. This was the belief which I held so closely that I left no room for others. I realized only too late that this is not the strongest power a man can hold. You see, despite my victories in the arena, on the battlefield, and in the court of the king of Akros, I wielded little true power. Adelphos, you must see that the most powerful force a man can wield is love. Love for his friends, love for his family, and the love they share for him. Love is what can save a soul from damnation. Love is what can free those who are bound. Love can heal even the deepest wound if given enough time. I can tell from the way your friends search you out that you already understand this to an extent. Son, if you permit me to use that word, I am so sorry for not loving you as a father should have. I'm sorry for not loving you the way you would have wanted to be loved. I'm sorry that my actions shaped you and your brother to become what he did. What shaped who your brother became and what he did to you. For what it is worth, I love you. I know that whatever room you hold in your heart to love, even the likes of Theseus, you will become more powerful than you will ever imagine. You will be powerful enough to save the gods and save the world. I pray the gods allow me to look at you once more, but I know and accept the punishment for my follies as a mortal. But here's to hoping that day will come in the future. I love you, son. Your father, Proteus. And I'd roll it up and hand it to him.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see that he has at least found some peace. I don't know if this is the closure that I needed, but I think it is definitely the closure that he needed. So, thank you. Thank you, Alondros.
Yes.
I guess that kind of verifies one thing, that there's still room for growth and development in the Underworld.
I just hope
And
that
you
it goes.
see. Oh,
I just hope that it goes rewarded, to some extent.
Yes.
and you hear Adelphos' mom carrying in platters of food from the other room say, and I do as well. And you see that she is just streaming tears. And she says, well, time for supper, I suppose. And her and Faustus bring in various foods, fruits, cheeses, a variety of deliciously cooked meats. A welcome meal. Very different than the trail rations you have been meagerly eating on this whole time.
It's absolutely
Thank you.
delicious. Thank you for the food.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Faustus. And thank you guys for coming. So, let's eat.
Let's eat.
And
Were we waiting?
And as you have your first meal in several weeks since being in the Underworld, you can feel some peace and some safety here in Elysia amongst family and friends. You can't shake that looming feeling in the back of the mind of what is yet to come. And that is where we'll end our session.
What?
No.
At least we got food.
What?
Yeah.
Put
Oh
on the
my
people.
goodness.
But we didn't even hear how Faustus died.
Yeah, Zane.
I
hope
know.
Theseus
He doesn't
did it.
remember.
I hope Theseus did it.
He doesn't remember. What?
Don't say that.
I hope
I
Theseus
mean, I
did
didn't
it,
remember
just so
that
you
I
have
was
to
killed by
live with
Theseus.
that.
Yeah, but
He
he.
probably
Theseus's
did
blood
it,
is
and
not
it was
on my hands.
probably slow and painful.
Yep. Zane all day at work tomorrow. People are like, "What's wrong with you?" I don't want to talk about it. Okay. One of my alter egos killed my best friend.
My boy.
That's my
My
son, my
Faustus.
boy.
They'll be like, what the crap
Oh,
is he
that's such a
talking
sad
about?
scene. Don't bring it up.
Oh.
It really is. That actor.
That scene
Should've
is
won an award for that.
hilarious.
No, it's not.
It is hilarious.
First time I watched that scene, I cried, Connor. I
Oh.
cried.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
He
still
might
funny.
be a psychopath.
I never watch
The
Old
funniest part is
Yeller
that he's
where the
on
Redford
the
grows.
Oh, the Redfern Grows is very sad.
Never ending
back to
story.
that.
Ever
Oh
seen,
my gosh.
ever seen Grave of the Fireflies?
Ever seen Never Ending Story?
You ever watched your horse sink into a swamp because you
Okay,
didn't
let's
have
not
enough
talk
to
about
leave?
And then the older you get, you realize it's
Wait.
life.
No way he would have.
End of the episode yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks everyone. We love you.
As
love
we
you.
continue on.
Hope you're having a good day.
Hope you're having a good day. And join us next week to figure out what happens to our Heroes of Theros
We love you.
as they try and get out of the Underworld. We love you. Like and subscribe. Comment
Love you
below.
guys.
We'll see you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.